Let's do a little.
Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
New York is where I'd rather stay. I get allergic smelling hay. I just adore
need Bob.
penthouse view. Darling,
Bob,
I
we
love you,
need
but
ya.
Give me Park Avenue.
The chores,
Dust the horns. Fresh air. Times Square.
you are my wife.
Goodbye, city,
City
life.
life.
Green Acres, we are there.
Well, good evening,
If you
ladies
tried
and gentlemen.
Tadalafil or Tadalafil,
okay,
do you want something
we can
more
stop
power?
that right now. Never fails. They always run over on that commercial there. Anyways, Irish Bill is not Seminole Bob. Is a better looking version of Seminole Bob. It'd be Marty Wilson. He's going to be joining me on Tuesday nights. 12th year at Culver's. 12 years. Hard to believe that they've been open that long. They just opened right before you guys moved into town. What is it, 2016?
2017.
17?
Yes.
So I think they opened in 2015 or 16. But this is my 12th year doing Irish Bill's Twist on Sports. The first 3 years was at the Twist over in Navarre with my good friends Derek and Julie Prevette when they ran the Twist over there. But this is 12 years, and I want to thank Honey and Randy Smith for allowing us every year to come back. We get the same old. Actually, we can move anywhere we want, but we like this corner back here, don't we, Marty?
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice
And cozy.
So Marty's going to be my co-host here on Tuesday nights. Bob's going to join us back on Wednesday nights. Bob's taking Tuesday nights. He usually does the PA for the South Walton Middle School football game. So we're just going to relieve him of Tuesday night so he can concentrate with us on Wednesday nights when we do the Buffalo Wild Wings coaches show tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. And he'll be back with us, and he'll be with us on all the home games where Marty and I will just be doing the road games as we were on the road. What a road trip. That was a long day, wasn't it, Marty?
Yeah, it was. I can't lie. I was a little tired.
The next morning, we had the grandkids on Saturday morning. It was like I was kind of out of it until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like I kept falling asleep in my chair, and I was like, gosh. That's a long day because we left about what? We left about 10:30.
Yes, sir.
We got sidetracked for a little bit, but we won't talk about that. We will talk about that at another time. And but we got over to Tallahassee rather early, and then we went on over to Buffalo Wild Wings, and of course we got to go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's one of our sponsors. So anywhere we go, we got to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. But the Raiders. We'll get to that game here in just a minute. We're going to do a recap of that game. We're going to do our Panhandle Power Rankings. We're going to go over all the games from last week. We're going to go over our picks, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the games coming up this week. College kicking off this weekend as well, Marty.
Very excited about that.
Not a real big games coming up this weekend, but next weekend everything will get kicked off, and everybody will be playing by next weekend. So we'll go over those games as well coming up. We'll talk about we'll have some interviews tomorrow night over at Buffalo Wild Wings. Still waiting to hear from Coach Bagley to see who's going to be joining us tomorrow night. But usually the first show, Coach Bagley will join us, and with a couple other coaches and everything. And then we'll have players and assistant coaches and cheerleaders and ROTC members, band members, and who else?
Managers.
Moms.
Managers. Moms. Yeah.
Moms. We actually had. One of our managers, Peter, checked in with us Friday night at the game, him and Stanley.
Yeah, buddy.
And so it's always good. The relationships that we're building with all of these shows is what really keeps me going every year, Marty.
No, it's exciting. And, speaking of relationships, we saw Brian Johns, the father of Peyton
He just
Johns.
snuck
right
his head in here, and
in Culver's, yeah.
then he took off.
Yeah, so it's definitely family vibrations, and it's exciting times in Navarre. Even though we're not accomplishing the goals that we have on the football field quite yet. The family atmosphere and everything else, developmental process, what you're doing as a personal development coach.
We're going to talk a little bit about legacy athletics tonight as well.
But still, not even that, Bill, but just, what you just started, with the GroupMe app and how the athletes are responding to that as well. It's becoming just, more than a community. It's family.
Well, my brother, when my dad was getting ready to pass, my brother spent a lot of time with my dad pretty much every day. And he always said, Bill, what am I going to do with my time? I said, well, there's always going to be something that comes up. And my brother taught me how to play online poker. So so 3 or 4 times a week, we call each other, we play online poker together. So that time that he spent, and that's the time that we now spend as we're retired, we spend giving back to the community with the athletes that we're developing, the relationships that we're developing. And it's, gosh, as you told me last week, you said, I actually get to do this every day. Yeah. You love doing it. And it's anytime that you can affect the younger athletes in a community the way that we do with all of our coaches that we have over there. I mean, have Joe and
Brandon.
And Jesse coming on strong here with his football side of things, and Brandon with his speed works. And we're going to have some more people coming online in the future. Some former Navarre Raiders will be joining our crew over there. And I want to thank all the folks over there at Gulf Point Latin School. You can talk a little bit about them and what they allow us to do over there.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous relationship. You and I communicated about this about 1.5 years ago over at Buffalo Wild Wings. It's been an organic situation for sure. Nothing has been forced. So they wanted a team, like we have, to come over to help develop their students and the athletes as well. So it was a natural fit for what we're doing, and it's been amazing to see the progress they're making. But thankful to Ms. Diane Hammer, Rob Hammer, her husband, and Miss Amanda Crumpler, the athletic director, have a really good relationship. They've allowed us to partner up and sublease the facility and utilize that playground as our own. So very excited about where that's going. It's only getting better. Miss Diane has been great to us, and I'm excited about the future.
What I like is they have pretty much once we've gotten going, they are pretty much hands off because they trust us what we're doing over there at Gulf Point Latin School, and the kids. I got to stop calling the kids the athletes that we train. They're not kids; they're athletes, and everyone from ages 8. I think our youngest is like 8 or 9 years old, all the way up to some of our college kids that still keep coming back.
19, 20.
We have
Tyrell
Marshall playing his 3rd year at UWF and
yes,
a Division I program. We'll talk a little bit about them a little bit later.
Yeah.
They got their first D1 game coming up this week at home.
Yes, sir.
Thursday night. And but just some amazing things that we're doing over there at Legacy Athletics, and And eventually, we're going to start a new podcast when we can get everything off the ground. It's called The Morning Fix. It's going to be a show where we talk about sports, we talk about life, we talk about a little bit of religion thrown in there as well. Whatever topic that eventually we'll get a call-in line and have everybody call in, and whatever you guys want to talk about, we're going to talk about it. Yeah. And it's just not going to be relegated to sports. It's going to be about life in general, and that's one thing that Marty and I we're excited about that opportunity in the future. I know we've been talking about it for a while, but it will come into fruition in the future. But I'm really excited about that opportunity. But we had a game last Friday night, Marty. But before we get to that, we got to go over the scores from last week. Last Thursday night, we had 3 games. Catholic takes out Milton 20-0. Mosley. What a defensive battle that was, 15-13 over Choctaw. 2 defenses, probably 2 of the better defenses in the area. Navarre right back there behind him. Northview over Rocky Bayou 40-6. Friday night games, the game we did, Florida High 37, Navarre 13, but it was much closer than that score as Mother Nature took over in the 3rd quarter. Navarre had their opportunities in the 3rd quarter to cut it to within a score, possibly tie it. But things just didn't go their way. They'll be back at it this Friday night against Washington at home. Pace looked strong, 41-0 over Fairhope.
Yeah.
And that one, South Walton over Gulf Breeze, 50-0. Prattville, this game surprised, not that Prattville won, is the decisiveness of their victory, 49-7. Prattville over Niceville at the Eagles Nest over in Niceville. Joe said that was one of the better teams that he's seen come into Niceville in quite a while. So Joe Settle, one of our buddies in our Pick Wizards, he's on the chain gang over there at Niceville. And Tate over Mariana, 40-13. Fort Wall Beach all over Pensacola High, 41-6. Lincoln trailed 10-0 at the half to Crestview, but they shut out Crestview in the second half and came back and won 13-10. Walton all over West Florida. You know what? West Florida was supposed to play Navarre last week, and they thought they were getting off by going to Walton. Walton says, "Not so fast, my friend." 52-7.
Man.
And probably one of the better games of the week. We have Booker T. Washington edging Pine Forest 27-26. And Joe Settle's checking in, just getting off work. Welcome, Joe. Joe's always checking in to all of our shows on Tuesday and Wednesday nights when he can. Washington, we'll see them this week, led by its senior quarterback,
Caden Osborne.
Caden Osborne. Should be. In fact, let's go ahead and get to that story right now. Brian John shared a story with us the other night, Marty. The matchup in quarterbacks coming up this Friday night is Caden Osborne, senior quarterback for Washington, Navarre sophomore quarterback, Peyton Johns. And these guys did not get their start here in the Panhandle. Both Peyton and Caden Osborne grew up in the Midwest. Caden from Joplin, Missouri, and Peyton, a good portion of his life was in Pittsburgh, Kansas. These towns are about 30 minutes from each other, and now they're both starting varsity quarterbacks in Florida playing against each other on Friday. Isn't that
Nice.
you say there's no coincidences?
Yeah, no coincidences, all synchronicities.
Yeah.
And those two individuals, great dads. That's what stands out to me. Great families overall. But Matt and Brian are very passionate, not only about their kids and having them be successful, but they love the game as well. And it definitely pours out.
Well, they're a long ways from Missouri right and Kansas right now, and
Yeah,
they're going to be battling on Friday night, and I think that's pretty cool. What a story in itself going into this game Friday night. Back to the scores: Leon over Fernandina Beach, 42-24. Arnold over Freeport, 27-21. McCullough over Gadsden County, 27-7. Godby over Rickards, 35-13. Childs over Impact Christian, 50-0. And a close one, Dothan over Bay, 35-28. And an even closer one, Union County over Rutherford, 35-34. Unfortunately, Rutherford's kicker had a bad night. Missed all three of his field goals and an extra point, and they go home a 1 point at the hands of Union County. Jay 35, Baker. That was probably the most surprising game of the week, is Jay knocking off Baker 35-6 in the war on I-4.
I actually picked Jay to win, but I didn't think it would be that decisive.
No, and Osceola Christian, they only have 20-some players on their roster. Very solid team, though. Over Sneeds, 19-8. Taylor County, a strong team. They took out Bozeman 47-13. Liberty County over Chipley, 22-10. Franklin County, 34-14 over North Florida Christian. Destin all over Port St. Joe. I don't think any of us had that one. 53-13. Coach E.G. Green, the third, with the victory there in the opening week. Weewa over Patala Charter at Georgia School goes down. You should get used to that, Fred. Cottondale over North Bay Haven, 30-20. Bluntstown starting an 8th grader on varsity as a quarterback.
Yeah.
It just happens to be, hey, Dad, who's starting this week?
Bluntstown.
No, that's not how he's got his position.
Yeah, they're well coached.
Very well coached, Brad Wagner, and his 8th grade son he was their backup last year as a 7th grader, now getting to start as an 8th grader at Bluntstown as they took out Arrington, Alabama, 49-14. Central, a big winner over Graceville, 37-6. Abbeville Christian over FAMU, 31-18. FAMU just they can't catch a break every year. McClay over Lafayette, 38-0. Dixie County over Vernon, 41-6. And we got a matchup this week. Liberty County is coached by Vernon's previous coach, Jared Tranquil. Jared Tranquil is a alum of Liberty County. He's coming back to play Vernon at Vernon on Friday night. For the first time.
That's gonna be cool.
Holmes County 49, Fort Dale Academy 10. There's your scores, and we'll get to the games. Actually, we'll probably get to those tomorrow night. The games coming up this week. Only one Thursday game, West Florida at Niceville. That game was switched from Friday. Thompson, Alabama won a state title last year with an eighth grader. You're right, and he's still their starting quarterback. He's one of the best quarters. Okay, interesting. Joe always throwing some knowledge out there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got some facts.
He always brings the heat.
The facts.
But let's break down Friday night's game. Our Ian Lockwood player of the game, our sophomore quarterback, Peyton Johns, what a night he had. 17 of 26, 154 yards through the air, 13 carries, 72 yards on the ground, so almost 6 yards a carry on the ground as well. Scored his first varsity touchdown, and that is well deserving of our Ian Lockwood player of the game. Running back for Florida High, that young man could not be denied. Mike Jones, he had a big 70-yard run there in that one. He is our offensive player of the game. Our Will Sutter defensive player of the game goes to Bryce Wheeler, and you'll be hearing that a lot this year as he led the Raiders with 10 tackles Friday night and a caused fumble. And that was on that, I believe it was on the punt. He caused that.
No, it was actually a sack. It was
a sack?
Yeah, it was a sack.
Okay.
Him and Aiden Drain.
Yeah, they gave Aiden a sack.
Yep.
And
which was correct. He got there first.
But Bryce got the caused fumble. And then our special teams player of the game, 5 kickoff returns for 175 yards and a big 99. That was big for the Raiders because they fell down 14-0 rather quickly. But the ensuing kickoff broke a couple of tackles as he started up the middle, got great blocking up front from the Raiders special teams. Then he broke it out to the side, and once Katie barred the door because no one's going to catch him once he gets out in the open.
Yeah, he's got some sprinter speed for sure. He's a track guy, so it was beautiful to see him get in open field. His strides were amazing, and how he hits the ground, it's like he's running on clouds.
And Florida High had a couple of gunners running after him, and they were is like me chasing an ice cream truck when I was younger. I ain't going to catch it.
And Florida High was fast.
Oh, they were fast, but they were not Jaden Jones fast.
Yeah.
But a great night, averaged 35 yards at kickoff, which is pretty darn solid. So he is our special teams player of the game. Scoring got started first play from scrimmage, 72-yard run by Aaron Johnson on the wide receiver reverse, and Tucker Campbell. Wow, what a leg that young man has. And we'll talk about that one. So they scored up 7-0 early. Navarre goes to punt. A bad snap. Jack Byer tried to do everything that he could, got it blocked. They returned it 35 yards. So 3 minutes and 50 seconds into the game, Navarre's already down 14-0. But on the ensuing kickoff, Jaden Jones does Jaden Jones things and takes it 99 yards down the near sideline. Byer cuts it to 7. 1 yard run by Ashton Callahan close out the scoring in the first. 21-7 Florida High at the end of 1. Second quarter, Peyton Johns scores his first varsity touchdown from 8 yards out at the 1:14 mark, but they left too much time on the clock for a young Tucker Campbell as he connects on a 50-yard field goal with a strong breeze going on, and that young man's got some talent. He may, as I said on the air, he may be auditioning for that just down the road at Florida State University. So you go to the half, 24-13. The Raiders have a chance to cut it. In fact, have a chance to tie it as they get down deep in Florida High territory. But the rains helped a little bit, and a couple of bad snaps later. Next thing you know, it's 30-13 as Mike Jones goes 76 yards. We did block the extra point on that one. So at the end of 3, it's 30-13, and then they tack on another as Florida High brings in all of their JV and freshmen, the freshman quarterback, freshman wide receiver, the son of head coach Jared Hickman, Brady Hickman, and you guys talked about it, compared him to the lad
Oh, Lad McConkey, yeah.
Lad McConkey. He is very diminutive, but that did not stop the celebration, which he went on to get a 15-yard penalty for excessive celebration. But at that point, Dad was pretty happy that young Brady got into the end zone, and Connor Tagarina was the one that threw the pass on that one. Great route.
It was really good.
Beautiful pass.
Really
and
good route.
Final score 37-13. On the night stats, Peyton Johns, 17-26, 154. Cole Flanagan, 1 of 3 for 8 yards. Florida High had 3 different quarterbacks throwing the ball. 10 of 13, they didn't throw much, but when they did, they connected for 107 yards and a score. Navarre rushing, Peyton led the way with 13 carries, 72 yards and a score. Ben Eberhardt, 6 carries for 23. Florida High, 23 carries, 349 yards. Big play after big play running the ball, Marty.
Yeah, they attacked the edges consistently all night, and we struggled to contain them, to push them back to the strengths of our defense, which hopefully we'll get shored up this week against Booker T.
You could see the excitement of the defensive players, maybe a little extra excited when they started that game, but they calmed down as the game went on.
Yeah, we jumped inside a few times, and we wanted to be aggressive, and you could tell that was the game plan early. There was absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No.
But well-coached team, and they hit us with counter punches every single
time.
time.
They knew what we were going to run.
They did. I mean, they hit us with counter punches every time we ran a blitz.
But I had a good chat with Coach Harper the other day, and he's excited about the game plan coming up for Washington this week, and some new little ripples into the offense there, and not going to divulge anything.
Oh, absolutely not.
But Florida High's rushing, Mike Jones, 9 carries, 160 yards. Ashton Callahan, 10 for 91. Aaron Johnson, 1 for 72 yards. Bryson Brown, 3 for 22. The Raiders spread the wealth around very well to 6 different receivers: Nash Jackson, Brody Powers, Brody Houston, Liam Darden, Sarah Maneo. There we go. And Ben Eberhardt. Each had at least 2 catches in the game. Florida High, Brady Hickman, the touchdown. Bubba Brown, the 4-star, he left after the first quarter because his services were no longer needed. Yeah. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I think they wanted to preserve him for sure.
Because they got a big game this week with crosstown rivals Childs.
They do.
And that should be a good game this week. Aaron Johnson had 4 catches. Cooper Windhold, Dorian Jones. Navarre special teams, like I said, 5 kickoff returns for 175 yards and a touchdown for Jaden. Jack kind of had a rough night a little bit on extra points and his field goals. Weather had a little bit to do with it. But just the first game, getting it out of the way. And on defense, Bryce led the way with 10 tackles. Luke Eberhardt with 7. Jaden Jones, Aiden Drain. I was very impressed with Aiden on Friday night.
He played well. 6
tackles each. He had the only sack on the night. Jordan Jackson, his first varsity game for the Raiders, 5 tackles. Aaron Manuel with 5 as well. Kazak Smith with 4. Ian Herrero. I know I'm going to be messing up names until I get a couple of games in, but I know Ryu, that's all I'm going to call him. Forget the last name. It's sort of like, who's the guy that goes by Ichiro?
Oh, yeah.
Goes by just
Ichiro.
You know who it is when you say Ichiro. Ryu, you know who it is. Anyways, he had 4 tackles as well. Matthew Lee played both sides of the ball very well. Brady Thiessen, 3 tackles. Noah Warner, 3. Duke Maneo with 2. Walker Bridges with 1 each from Brody Houston and Sarah Maneo. I got to get used to saying it. Maneo, and Keyshawn Watts had the fumble recovery. So that's the recap of Friday night's game, and the Raiders fall to 0-1. But I look at brighter things ahead here in 2026 for the Raiders. So we're going to head out to our first commercial break, and then we're going to come back with our Panhandle Power Rankings and our players of the week. Just because of weeks 1 doesn't mean that there weren't some good performances, and we're going to talk about those when we come back on IrishBillSports.com, Irish Bill Sports Live, 944 on YouTube. We are at Culver's, a block and a bridge from beautiful Navarre Beach. Randy and Honey Smith also on the one over in Fort Walton Beach. and also out in Destin as well. So, and they've been great sponsors of Navarre Sports as well as IrishBillSports.com. So we're going to head out commercial break, and we will be back after this break.
Join Irish Bill and his cast of characters every Tuesday night at 8 at Culver's of Navarre for Irish Bill's Twist on Sports, where they give you their own twist on the world of sports. Then every Wednesday night, it's a Buffalo Wild Wings Coaches Show, live from Buffalo Wild Wings in Navarre, featuring interviews with Navarre coaches, players, managers, cheerleaders, and many more from Raider Nation. And it doesn't stop there. Catch all the exciting action of Navarre Raider football every Friday night, whether the Raiders are at home or on the road. Remember, your home for Raider Sports is IrishBillSports.com and Irish Bill Sports Live 944 on YouTube. University Lending Group, located in Harvest Village, is Navarre's local mortgage lender. A buying, building, or refinancing a dream home is in your future. You need to contact University Lending Group. Jennifer Gomes, Stacy Wright, and Sheila Billingham are the loan specialists who have the experience to take you step by step to make your buying, building, or refinancing experiences smooth. So University Lending at 752 Navarre Parkway, Suite 56, or call us at 850-396-0322.
Craig Culver of Culver's.
Before farm to table, before field to fork, there was just good, wholesome food. Grown by America's farm families, prepared fresh at Culver's, and always served with a smile. We still cook every Butterburger to order using fresh 100% Midwest beef and craft our frozen custard right in the restaurant using family farm fresh dairy. So thank you, farmers. Welcome to Delicious.
1-800-T-Shirts is a family-owned company and is dedicated to providing high-quality apparel and promotional products with exceptional customer service to their community and beyond. At 1-800-T-Shirts, you can trust that you'll find a product you are searching for to customize your business, sports team, or a family event with personalized attention from their friendly staff. Whatever your needs are, you can contact Tracy Donnet at 563-207-1518. 1-800-T-Shirts is the official apparel provider of IrishBillSports.com.
Welcome back to Irish Bill's Twist on Sports from Culver's in Navarre, and I see Ulysses Esquire. Oh, no, that's Bob Grant. Now, I always get those two confused. They're both about the same age. But anyways, Bob, we miss you. I can't wait to see you tomorrow night because I can't sing that line in Green Acres, and you got to sing that part, buddy. I just don't do it any justice like you do. But let's get right to our Panhandle Power Rankings. We had a little bit of changes. We had a couple go out, a couple come in, but Paystake's over the top spot with that impressive win last night in the large category. Mosley moves up to second with their win over Choctaw. Tate with a resounding win over Mariana last week. They move up to 3. Choctaw drops to 4. Escambia is still waiting to play their first game this week. They move in at the number 5 spot. Got to give Washington their props. They won last week a big game over crosstown rival Pine Forest. Then Fort Walton Beach with a convincing win over Pensacola moves in at number 7. Our small Catholic dominant win over Milton as they scored early. Then Milton's defense came to play the second half and pretty much shut them down. Walton moves up to that 2 spot. Bluntstown at 3. Those 3 are pretty much going to be probably near the top of the small category. Jay had an impressive win last week over Baker, Northview as well. Holmes County and Destin, probably the biggest surprise last week as well, with 53 points on the board.
Did any of us pick Destin?
Well, let's look.
I thought I did. I couldn't remember.
Let me look real quick here. Marty did.
Oh, yeah.
Marty took Destin.
Man,
he was the only one to take Destin.
How about that?
Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
Well, anyways, there's our small and large power rankings 5s, and hopefully you're enjoying the new images that I'm coming up with for our shows and with all of our different events that we're doing now. And our offensive player of the week for week 1, he's been our offensive player of the week previously. But senior running back James Youngblood, his brother, the twin, plays quarterback, Jalen. And notice how they have Jay, and they play for Jay. You think that was planned?
Man, that's pretty cool.
Running back James Youngblood, 33 carries, 256 yards, 4 touchdowns against Baker. He is our offensive player of the week. We're going to go over to Catholic Crusaders linebacker. He's a freshman. This name might sound familiar to most people in the area. Brooks Clayton, the son of head coach Bobby Clayton. He led the Crusaders last week with 15 tackles and a tackle for loss. Freshman Brooks Clayton is our defensive player of the week. Now we're going to head over to South Walton. The perfect night for kicker punter Gibson Wills. 6 for 6 extra points, 2 for 2 field goals, and a long of 49. And his only punt was 50 yards. Just only. But those are our players of the week. And congratulations to all them. And they're just the start of another outstanding year here in the Panhandle and Big Bend regions. But congratulations to those 3 young men. And I'm going to try to get out on some of their pages and post this information so they can see that we are recognizing their players as well. But anyways, those are our players of the week. Now let's get over some other performances. Tate's quarterback, Cade Pierce, 9 of 16, 201 yards. He's the only quarterback last week to throw for over 200 yards in the area. 3 touchdowns. Choctaw's Baker Giles, a transfer from IMG Academy. 9 of 13, 173 at TD, 13 carries for 35 yards, but not enough to go up against that strong Mosley defense. Navarre's Peyton Johns, 17 of 26. First start, a sophomore, and no turnovers. Yeah. He ran the offense like a well-oiled machine.
And there was also a few drops, not bad drops. Yeah. But his completion percentage would have been a little bit higher.
I would love to have Caleb Williams have that higher percentage, 65%. Caleb's sitting at about 58, but I think that's going to go up this year.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
But we can't go a week without talking about pace running back Mikael Williams. 19 carries, 220. On a normal week, he would be our player of the week. But
this is the norm for him.
What James Youngblood did was not normal, so it might be for him. But Mikael Williams, 19 carries, 228, 4 touchdowns. Rutherford's Jamarian Blunt, 13 carries, 189 yards, and 2 scores. Only 1 receiver. Not a lot of throwing going on last week. Not a whole lot of shaking going on. Yeah. Tate's Ephedarius. How do you like that name? Ephedarius Bryant. 6 receptions, 146 yards, 2 scores. We had other guys with a lot of tackles. Chasen Lawrence, 17 tackles for Baker. Charlie Cotter, 15 for Mosley. Donnell Gully, we saw him last year in the opening game against Navarre, 13 tackles. Liberty County, Dylan Dunn, 13 tackles. The list goes on. And you can go out on my Irish Bill Sports, IB Sports page, my group page on Facebook, and you can list all these names. And this list will also go up on my website probably by tomorrow. Special teams, Jordan Morales out of Walton, 4 extra points. Catholic, Keller Brown, you and I were talking the other. We thought that guy graduated already. He seems like he's been there forever.
You know, Jose Stutz over for Duwork. I shot him a message. I was like, I thought he was a senior last year. Keller's so big, and he get kicked so well.
Guys, this is so not mature. Your average kicker. He is 6'5", 260 pounds. And when he gets a hold of that football, it goes.
Yeah, and he's an athlete too, man. He goes.
He
down,
is. He can tackle. 6'5", 260.
Yeah, he reminds me of Pat McAfee.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Pat's in a little bit better shape than Keller is right now, but I'm enjoying watching that show every day.
Oh yeah, McAfee show.
In the Thunderdome. Yeah, we're gonna have to come up with something when we get the studio going at the Hamel household. We're gonna have to come up with something, maybe the something like you got the rainbow and the pot of gold. We'll have to come up with something with Irish related and everything. So, you guys got any ideas? No, Tim, I'm not saying. You can't make me say it, Tim. I gave you a freebie last week when I was doing my preseason stuff, but you're not. You're gonna have to earn it. This, you know what it is.
At least him and Miss Debbie aren't on at the same time.
Yeah. Wonder how Miss Debbie's doing.
We got to check on her.
We definitely got to check on her. We got her number. Probably living in her RV somewhere. She doesn't stay in one place very long.
She doesn't like to.
Liberty County Cesar Lopez hit all 3 of his extra points. We had 5 kickoff returns for touchdowns last week. Navarre's Jaden Jones with a 99-yarder. Bluntstown's Curtis Ellis with a 97-yarder. And 1 reception for 95. So he touched the ball twice. And 192 yards, 2 scores.
Yeah,
kind of reminds me of one Navarre Raider wide receiver, Hansen.
Oh, yeah, Nate
Hansen touched the ball 3 times, scored all 3 times in a game.
It seemed like that year all he did was score touchdowns.
It did. But he's up at Ripon College now. They're recovering. Hopefully he's fully recovered from his injury last year.
Yeah.
And he'll be playing for Ripon. Well, that's a beautiful campus, and their facilities are out. They're downright gorgeous. Xavier Davis from West Florida, 85-yard return. Tate's Quadarian Crenshaw, we saw him last year, 71-yarder. And Weewa Hitchka's Ramey Patrick, a 62-yarder short kick there. Wow. Performances in week 1, it's only going to get better from here, Marty.
That's right.
So
we are extremely fortunate to be in this area.
Well,
really good football.
We've seen some Navarre lacrosse players here tonight. They're running their fundraiser, started at 5 o'clock and just finished at 8 o'clock. A fundraiser which Randy and Honey Smith, they bring in all the Navarre sports teams so that they can do their fundraisers. A portion goes back to the team, and so that they can get things done that they need to get done during the season. But the Navarre boys lacrosse was here tonight. It's good to see because we get to see Peyton.
That's right.
What a performance he did in lacrosse this year. One of the top face-off guys in the area as a freshman.
Yeah, and their coaching staff has created a phenomenal culture, and they were here as well. So it's good to see what teams can do, especially coming from basically the dust 2 years ago, the lacrosse program. Right now, they got a squad, Bill. They're going to be special the next few years for sure.
The Milton quarterback actually transferred to Tate. So he's Cade Pierce was a quarterback at Milton last year, so he's the starter at Tate this year. So, but let's move on. Like I said, Washington coming up this Friday night. And one thing that I don't want to say this too loud, but Washington, you've never beaten Navarre. Navarre 6-0 all time against Washington. And in a game, I go back to Washington. Michael Carter was a junior. His first 2 games of the season, he's just balling out. Second quarter, catches the ball out of the backfield and gets hit, and you could hear the whole crowd just went silent. That cost Michael the rest of his junior year, but Hassan Williams stepped in, and the Raiders went undefeated. Their first time they ever went undefeated in the regular season.
Wow.
Got knocked off in double overtime against Tate. Tate went on to the state semifinals that year, so Navarre didn't get knocked out by mistake. There's a Sawyer Smith. He went on and played at Troy, but they got beat by a very talented Tate team in double overtime on a missed extra point in double overtime. But that just shows you next man up mentality. That's what Coach Jay Walls always had, and Garrett Bagley trying to get to that level now.
Yeah.
But we're looking forward to that this Friday night, and well, let's talk a little. We're going to skirt away from the football for a little bit, and we'll talk a little bit more about Legacy Athletics and what we're doing over there at Legacy Athletics, Marty.
Honestly, I think you need to communicate about what you just started. So, we've been around for a while now, and we're helping develop athletes, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually as well. Bill recently became one of our personal development coaches for the entire group, and he created a GroupMe app, a GroupMe page to start to funnel positive information motivational quotes, spirituality quotes as well. And I was communicating with Lucas Adelman earlier at our 5:30 to 6:30
Talented
session.
baseball player. You're going to hear that name for around the area, and that guy is definitely going to be a D1 college baseball player.
Yeah, he's on the All Florida under 14 team, I believe. And
he's taller than both of us.
Yeah, he's
not that it takes much for me,
but still, no, he's about 6'2" now, 190 pounds, a rising freshman, playing over at Gulf Breeze, fortunately and unfortunately for us, since we're Navarre Raiders by heart. But Lucas is a fantastic young man, and he actually mentioned how awesome it was for you to be sending out those motivational quotes and the uplifting information that you have for our athletes. And Bill, I think you need to expand on that and how you came up with the idea.
Well, since we moved over to Go Point Latin School last year, I had Marty put up a whiteboard. So when people come in, the young athletes come in, I put in a positive message, but mainly Bible verses. And that's one thing that I'm glad that Miss Hammer allowed me to do with the Christianity platform that they have at Gulf Point Latin School. I thought it was a great idea to put Bible verses that the young athletes can look at and say, hey, maybe I'm going through this right now. Maybe this will help me get through my day. But I've taken that whiteboard, and in fact, on ChatGPT, I've now called it my whiteboard mindset, and so that's another area that I'm created in ChatGPT. But Marty came up with the idea, GroupMe. I'd never heard of GroupMe before, but we've kind of dealt with a lot of stuff back and forth when we were in the military, all the different communication chat groups and everything to get the messages out. So we started that up, and I think we got about 10 or 15 young athletes in there right now. But every day I try to post a positive, I call it a legacy mindset, and that's the name of our GroupMe chat, is Legacy Mindset. And it's not about just what you're doing while you're in there. It's what you're doing outside of the fitness area that we're doing, but the way that you carry yourself, and just positive things on hopefully it help you get through a tough day or a tough period in your life, and hopefully it helps these young athletes to get through. Not only that their parents are a part of it now as well, and so I'm pretty excited about it, Marty.
Yeah, and the foundation statement for us came from Proverbs 13:22. A wise person leaves an inheritance for their children's children, and not only the information that we're giving them in regards to how to take care of their bodies, nutrition, and all that stuff, but spiritually, where to turn when you're going through tough times, because nobody in this world is perfect. There was only one. And, for these athletes to understand that and not to put pressure on themselves to be perfect, and to understand that they're not alone, it goes a long way. And honestly, we got a bunch of great programs around the area that's created great cultures. But I will say, that's the time and truth for what we're doing. The culture that we have, the kids, the young athletes, the young adults, they love being around it, and they love the positivity that we generate every single day.
Because if you come in the morning with a negative attitude, we just basically say go home. No, we don't. But hopefully we can change that attitude as you come in the door. But we don't really ever have to deal with it over there at Gulf Point Land School. We got the opportunity to go over to Gulf Point. We started out over at Navarre Fitness. Things just took a turn.
Yeah.
And now we look back at it and say, thank you, God. You're showing us a way that we can get more involved and an atmosphere and an attitude that we are able to spread even more over at Go Point Latin School. Plus, it's only 2 miles from my house, so I get a 4-mile walk in, 2 miles down there, 2 miles back. Yeah. But the athletes, we hardly ever have to push them. They're pushing themselves, and I think that's a part of what the message that we're purveying every day is a positive mindset, stay focused, and it's about your legacy.
Yeah, I think it was pretty cool. We spoke about this previously, but the relationship with Navarre Fitness was good. We just outgrew the situation. When we first got there, we had a vision, but it was all God's, obviously. And everything that's happened, between doors opening and doors, closing temporarily, it was all in the plan. And now we see, wholeheartedly what it was all about. And it's never been about us. It's been about the community the entire time, specifically the next generation. And, we found that this is what our purpose is, especially right now. So we're doing everything we can to continue to maintain our positivity and to uplift the community as best we possibly can, especially in some of the tough times that we're facing, specifically in these competitive endeavors that we love so much, like football. You're not going to win every year or every day in your life. Sometimes you're going to have seasons where it doesn't feel like you're accomplishing anything. And those are the times that you truly need your brothers and sisters to be by your side, to stand in the gap, right? And to have an encouraging word or to be there to pick them up, in times of need. So it's an incredible thing that we have going over at Gold Point Latin School, and it's all glory to God, with everything that's happened. I don't think any of us can take any credit for what's going on.
I would look at it this way, Marty. It's not about me. You turn the M upside down. It's about we.
Yeah.
It becomes a W. It's
Yes,
about
sir.
we. And hopefully we can create a difference in these young athletes. And we're seeing it already with some of the young athletes. What's the comment?
Yeah, Joe said, love what you're doing with the youth. Positive influences will only make the greater adults.
Indeed. But some of the athletes, gosh, amazing. Just to name a couple, Nadia Rivera.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's working hard. She wants to be a state weightlifting champion, and she's only been doing it for a year, Marty.
Yeah. No, big time goals, and she
Lucas Adelman,
Yeah.
2-a-days,
Yeah.
every day during the summer.
Yeah.
Frankie Reddy took off football this year so that he could focus on himself and his legacy and
Yes, sir.
getting ready for what's ahead of him.
Yeah.
I see big things out of Frankie coming up.
Yes, sir.
Very quiet. We've seen what guys like Justin Lute, what he's become. I remember the first day, quiet, long-haired young man, didn't say much of anything when he came in.
Yeah.
But now, I tell you,
Now he's leading,
he's leading now. He's a
inspiring.
leader.
He is.
Young guys, Rhett Manning. Wow.
Liam Sims, Hunter DeLynn.
Liam
the list
Sims,
goes on,
6'3".
Chase Porton. Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
you can't make this stuff up.
But
You remember we talked about having hidden gems over there?
Yeah.
And now they're starting to become diamonds.
But Rhett's what, 12 years old?
Yeah, he's 13 actually.
13 now?
He'll be 14
but-
in a few months.
But just in a couple of weeks, he went from learning all of this stuff, and now his friends and his cohorts he's leading them.
Yeah, so
and it's great to see that.
Speaking of Rhett, man, he threw his first touchdown pass last Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah, he's the backup quarterback for the Gulf Breeze Dolphin 14U team.
Well, now that you brought that up, I'm going to bring up a little bit of Navarre Raider history.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
You like that little segue there?
Great segue. I was just about to say.
Rhett's dad, Tyler Manning, was on the first varsity team that Navarre had, and he actually threw the first touchdown pass in Navarre history in 1998 in the first game against I can't remember who they
Was it? It was Catholic, right?
Strawn. They played Strawn out of
Okay.
Alabama.
Okay.
Catholic was a win for them, a 5 overtime win in that first season.
Yes.
But 96, a young Jason Weeks was a coach back then. In fact, one of the comments on Facebook said Jason looked like he was about 12 years old as a coach on the sideline.
Yeah.
But that was, wow.
It's interesting because 97 was my freshman year of high school, so it's to think about that, man. And
96 was the first year for Navarre freshman class. Their first game was a win against Catholic, 22-0.
Yeah.
And so you can go and read more on the story as I created that on my IB Sports
That was a really
group
cool
on it.
story, man.
And
Really cool
the guy wrote an excellent article from that first game, and I was able to let me create kind of a breakdown and the scoring and everything.
Modified version.
But Tyler Manning was the Navarre
Hey,
Raiders. They're
man,
the first
And
to.
Tyler's he's such a good guy. He's a humble guy as well. And, even when his son brought it up and what number that he wore because he saw the post that you created about the 5s. And he I don't know if he truly didn't remember that he wore number 5, But it was funny.
And I'm sorry, Jane Daniels, you can't have that number.
But he told his son Rhett that he can't. I can't remember if I wore a 5 or not. And then he started collecting his thoughts, and he remembered. Yeah, I did wear number 5, and I went on to tell him. I was like, man, 5 is one of the most legendary numbers in Navarre history. 5 and 7 are right there. I said you would have to talk to Bill about it, but there's quite a few individuals, specifically within the last 5 to 7 years, that went on to play college ball.
Okay, it's like Dante Wright, Michael Carter,
Tyrell Marshall,
my
son Joshua Wilson.
Yeah,
there's been some fantastic players that have donned that jersey number, and now Noah Warner is carrying the flag this year.
Most definitely, and he'll be doing it. He'll be doing it proud as well. We're going to go ahead and take another commercial break. Hopefully, you're enjoying the show so far. Our first one of the year. At least 10 more to go, unless the Raiders make the playoffs, and we're here until they're not.
That would be nice.
So
that would be amazing.
But we'll go over our predictions from last week, and then the college games will be kicking off this week, and we'll talk about West Florida's first game in Division I coming up on Thursday night. Irish Bill and Marty Wilson on Irish Bill's Twist on Sports here at Culver's. First show of the year here in 2026. We'll head off for this commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Great teams are built on great support, and the Navarre Raiders Quarterback Club is one of the best. Behind every Friday night under the lights, there's a dedicated group working tirelessly to support the Navarre Raiders. From helping provide meals and transportation to making sure Raider fans can experience all the excitement of Navarre football, the Navarre Raider Quarterback Club is always ready to step up and make it happen. Their commitment, pride, and support help keep Raider football moving forward, both on and off the field. Thank you to the Navarre Raider Quarterback Club for supporting your Raiders on Irish Bill Sports and on Irish Bill Sports Live 944 on YouTube. The Hustle isn't named after anyone, not after a designer, and definitely not named after a mythological god. It's not about stripes or ranking or status. The Hustle is real. The Hustle is about you. So keep in mind when you're repping and rocking Hustle Hard USA streetwear, you can tell all the onlookers that this brand represents your hustle, your grind. You put in that time, that sweat, that pain. Now it's up to you to show them all what you got. Win or lose, the hustle is real. Visit www.hustlehardusa.com, and we guarantee you won't be disappointed.
To everyone who loves Culver's, the feeling is mutual. I'm Nicole from Culver's of Cross Plains, Wisconsin. And when I'm serving you a Butterburger, I'm just as happy as you are. I almost get giddy when I hear the sizzle of our fresh beef on the grill. Seeing that smile that comes from a meal made just right, some call it magic, but I like to call it love at first bite. Stop in for a cook-to-order Butterburger and let us make Culver's your happy place.
From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is the kind of person you need. Express Employment Professionals can help because we understand what it takes to hire the right person. It takes real people, real interviews. We find good people, matching the right skills with the right jobs from the production floor to the front office. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
Just for you, Bob.
When this old world starts getting me down,
I love the drip.
I love this song too.
Too much for me to face.
Well, we came up with this song a few years ago when we started doing games up on top of the roof of the press box, and I like older. I love older music, anyways, and I know your mom was a big fan of the older music as well, because you've told me on numerous occasions. And I love 60s music, 50s and late 50s and early 60s. is just pure.
Let me tell you now, when I come home feeling tired and weak, I go up where the air is fresh and sweet. I get away.
No, we gotta play this commercial. Okay, maybe. Okay, we'll move on from that one. Anyways, I brought up the article that we were talking about before we went to a commercial break. So the reason that we started talking about this is Coach Alex Adams, a former assistant coach at Navarre. After Soundside's Alex Hepler, Joe's son, scored the very first touchdown in Hurricane history at Soundside on Thursday night at West Florida in a 32-7 loss. But it wasn't about the loss; it's about history being made. And so former assistant Alex Adams asked me who scored Navarre Raiders' first touchdown. And with a lot of help from another former Navarre coach, Greg Taylor, his daughter is now taken over as the head coach of the softball team. We have an answer to Alex's question. In Navarre's very first ninth grade game on 5 September 1996, Sean Parrish scored on a 19-yard run. Created a box score from then. Sun Sports editor Mark Rudd wrote an excellent article about that game as Sean scored from 19 yards out in 5:40 of the first quarter. The extra point was no good. They go to the second quarter. This is where Tyler Manning comes into the picture as he hits Richard Barbeau on a 15-yard pass, which is the first passing touchdown in Navarre history. The two-point conversion goes to Gavin Para. No scoring in the third. Fourth quarter, a 4-yard run by Parrish, his second in the game. Another two-point conversion by Para at 2:19, and they shut out Catholic 22-0. Sean Parrish finished the game 20 carries for 133 yards, 2 touchdowns. Gavin Perry has 6 carries, 71 yards, and 2 two-point conversions. But what I take away from all this is what's been consistent over the past 30 years in Navarre is the support of the Navarre community and the Navarre faithful known as Raider Nation, and that continues, Marty. And we are blessed to be a part of this community. Everybody knows the story how I got into broadcasting. It was not coincidental, as you always say. At my son's soccer game, guy handing out flyers for his broadcasting business. The man upstairs put him there, and he taught me what to do. I always knew in my head what the right thing to do is, but he taught me broadcasting 101. And then 7 years ago, I started my own company, and Bob joined me at that time, and Bob and I have become great friends, and now we've added another good friend to our mix here, and our Pick Wizards text line. Some great conversations that go on, some not so great ones as well. We like to rub them in the dirt a little bit at times, but a great brotherhood that's developed amongst the 5 of us: Joe Settle, Paul Villanova, yourself, myself, and Bob Grant, and we're all brothers from other mothers. Yeah. And this time of year, we pick games, and then we give each other crap when our teams lose.
Yeah, I think the best thing about the chat group is we all feel that we have the power to be ourselves genuinely, and there's no one afraid to be themselves and communicate about what they want to talk about. They don't feel judged. It's a pretty cool situation, man, and I'm glad to be a part of the brotherhood.
Most definitely. But speaking of the Pick Wizards, another segue into our picks. Last week, we had 31 games last week, high school games that we picked. I'm not going to pat myself. Yeah, I am. Because it's tough to win against these guys because they do their homework when they're doing these picks, especially Joe.
It's so competitive.
And Paul, you're starting to really get into the research on the picks as well. But I went 23-8 last week. Joe, Marty, and Paul all went 21-10. And then Bob, you're the lone recipient, and you're occupying that only seat on the caboose for this week. That may not change because every week that the name on sitting in the tenant on that caboose may change, and it may be me this week. So, but looking over most of the games, the biggest games that we missed, everybody took Choctaw over Mosley last week. Everybody took Pine Forest over Washington as well.
Man, I was so close. I mean, I remember talking to you about being on the edge of both of those games. Man.
Most definitely. And then all of us took, let's see here. Well, all of us took Port St. Joe except for you. You took Destin. But it was really tight. I mean, a couple of games here, a couple of games there. But then we got college games that are a few games that are kicking off this week. But we got another 31 games coming up this week that we're picking. And we have, let's see, 8 college games that we're picking this week. We'll talk about the high school games tomorrow night at Buffalo Wild Wings. The college games we got coming up this week, North Carolina at TCU. They're going over to Ireland in Dublin to play. And that game, I've got your picks already, have I not?
Yes, you do.
Hawaii at Stanford, NC State at Virginia, Memphis at UNLV, San Jose State at USC. So they dropped Notre Dame to pick up USC to San Jose State. And there we go. And New Mexico State at Florida State, Jacksonville State, North Dakota State playing their first FBS game. And they should not be much of a drop-off with that program there.
No, man.
Then Sacramento State going to Eastern Michigan. So those are the games, 8 games coming up this week, and then we'll have a full slate next week because I've already got the list that we're gonna pick next week, and there not a whole lot of ranked games. There's a couple, but we got a lot of games, and football's back, baby.
It is. This is our favorite time of year.
Most definitely, and we worked our way up, just like the players have worked their way up to get ready for their moments as we as fans get ready. And my wife getting ready to go up to Wisconsin, not this weekend, but next weekend, Labor Day weekend, to watch the Notre Dame and Wisconsin game with her best friend, Kathy Ravella, and should be a great time by them. I'm staying back. For one, I don't want to miss college day full of college football on Saturday on TV. Come on.
This is going to be a great year, man.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, there's so much great
competition. Both of our teams are looking pretty solid going to this season.
We're looking
Georgia
pretty good.
coming in at number 3.
Yep.
And Notre Dame's right behind them at number 4.
Yep.
So, and then Indiana right there at 6 as well. So
would not be surprised if we ended up playing each other in the national championships, honestly, with the most humble spirit.
Then we're going to have to dog walk you again. Well, anyways, let's talk about let's talk about UWF's game coming up on Thursday. Yeah. First home game in Division I, FCS. They're hosting Southern Illinois this Thursday night. There's some other games going on in the it's the United Athletic Conference is now UWF is in. Former GSC opponents are in this conference as well. West Georgia and North Alabama. They're going to be joining Abilene Christian, Austin Peay, Central Arkansas, Eastern Kentucky is where Josh Carter played at. Yep. Tarleton State, which is probably the power in that conference. Yep. Then West Florida, West Georgia, and now UWF will be a part of that conference. So they got games coming up this weekend. Gardner-Webb at Austin Peay, Central Arkansas at UT Martin, Chattanooga at West Georgia, Southern Illinois coming down to Pensacola to take on West Florida. Then Saturday games, they got Sanford at North Alabama and Abilene Christian at Lamar, Eastern Kentucky at Western Carolina, and Prairie View at Tarleton State. That's the United Athletic Conference. They used to have a couple of teams, Utah Tech and Southern Utah, but they moved over to the Mountain West Conference. So that's the United Athletic Conference. No, we're talking about the Gulf South concert. Yeah. We'll still talk about Valdosta State because Gavin Lashley is a freshman over there, Coach Chad Lashley's son.
We're a huge fan of his.
Most definitely. And then we have the SIAC. Always got to talk about the SIAC with my son Brady. Played at Miles College, and their games are all kicking off on Saturday. Clark Atlanta, Grambling State, Fort Valley State at Elizabeth City State, Kentucky State at Central State, Johnson C. Smith at Benedict, Allen at Livingston, Florida Memorial Edward Waters, 2 Florida schools, Division II. Savannah State at South Carolina State. Tony Carter's alma mater, South Carolina State. Miles College at Elkhorn State. They're playing up. Morehouse at Arkansas Pine Bluff. Albany State at Florida A&M. Lane at Bethel, and Tuskegee taking on West Alabama over there in Livingston, Alabama. And it was the old saying, we're deep in it now, Marty.
Oh, yeah.
But, wow.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Navarre, coming off that 37-13 loss, will be hosting Washington this Friday night. We'll be going live with the pregame at 7 o'clock up on the roof, weather permitting. If not, we'll be inside. Then the next Friday, Labor Day weekend, Milton comes down from the northern part of the county to take on Navarre. And then the Raiders will be heading over to Niceville. I don't know how we have to go over there back-to-back years. Come on.
Yeah. It might have to do something with some green paper.
But we're all cleared at all the road locations, so no concerns there. And then the following week, go Niceville, then Catholic. So we'll be over somewhere at Catholic. Not sure where they're going to put us at. Then they'll have their open week on the 25th of September. And a Fort Walton Beach team coming to Navarre, which they haven't played in a few years. And then Navarre travels for their second district game at Tate. And important back-to-back district contest with Pace and Crestview at home. And they'll finish up with their Publix Beach Bowl Cup against Gulf Breeze down in Gulf Breeze.
Yeah, you rarely see a schedule where all of your district games are on the road, man.
Pretty much. We got a couple of them.
Actually, it's 2-2. Sorry.
2-2, but the tough ones. Pace is good this year. Crestview's good this year. Tate's good this year. And Niceville, don't let the last week's game fool you. That is a very talented Niceville team led by Deegan McCoy at quarterback and Gilliard at running back. One of the best running backs in the country in his class.
Yeah, they're very, very competitive group of people, especially that entire city. They don't mess around about winning football.
And they did lose a lot on defense, so that was probably a lot of what happened last Friday, but that was a very good Prattville team.
Yeah, and it was Adron's first game as a head coach, correct?
Yeah. Gotta love some Adron and what he's done for this, not just the Niceville community, but a lot of the athletes in the Panhandle. Yeah. He helped get on to college, and I got nothing praise for that young man.
Yeah, I'm hoping he has a successful career at Niceville.
Well, normally at this part of the show, Bob would go off on one of his rants. So in the future, we call them Grant's rants. But in the future, you're going to have to start coming. It doesn't mean it doesn't have to be negative.
What about Wilson's wisdom?
Oh, there you go. I like it. Yeah. Wilson. You remember that?
That's my last name if you don't know that.
Know. We've had a lot of Wilsons come through Navarre.
That's a popular name.
It is very popular. We had Wilson was from the was the show My Three Sons? I think it was. And then Wilson from the movie with Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah.
The volleyball that was his island mate.
I always forget the name of that movie.
Yeah. And
Castaway.
Castaway.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
And I don't know do we have any Wilsons on the Navarre roster this year?
I don't believe so.
That's a surprise. That usually we'll have a Wilson. Let me check. No, I don't have the JV here, but usually there is one, but not this year.
Yeah,
but
wasn't meant to be.
So I think our wisdom has already been passed with our Gulf Point Latin and Legacy talk already. So I want to thank you all for tuning in on this little warm in our corner. Culver's is a little warm in here. But it's Irish Bill's Twist on Sports, the first of at least 10 or 11 shows. We do all 10 for regular season, and then we do a closeout. So at least 10 more shows coming up every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock on those on the eastern side of the United States. And hopefully our family grows as the show grows this year in 2026. Tomorrow night we head over to just down the road to Buffalo Wild Wings and thank Brady Hilt for allowing us to come in Hilt's on Wednesday nights and do the coaching show. And I'll hear tomorrow probably from Coach Bagley on who our guests are going to be tomorrow night at Buffalo Wild Wings, and Joe checking in. It's another great show. Thanks, Joe. And we appreciate all of our listening audience, and Honey and Randy Smith for allowing us to come in every Wednesday, every Tuesday night. Used to do it on Wednesday nights, and but 12 years. Wow, Irish Bill's Twist on Sports.
It's only the beginning.
It is, and
you were well beyond your time, before your time, especially with now.
I started
how
out
popular-
on audio shows over at the Twist.
Yeah.
That's where we came up with Irish Bill's Twist on Sports. And one of my last guests that I did over there, my guests were Michael Carter and Nick Brahms on an audio broadcast over at the Twist, and then it's evolved into this and our Wednesday night show and down the road to Morning Fix coming up.
Yeah, I mean the future, especially with YouTube and the platform they've given everyone to utilize, it's special.
Most definitely. So Marty Wilson, it's Irish Bill with Irish Bill's Twist on Sports. We'll see you tomorrow night from Buffalo Wild Wings. The night is wearing down, but be safe and God bless. And we'll talk to you tomorrow night from Buffalo Wild Wings. Irish Bill and Marty Wilson.